Hi, Kavya.
Hi Harish. So I'll start the webinar and we'll give a couple of minutes for all the students to join, then we'll start the session.
Sure,
Hope
sure.
that's
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
absolutely fine. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. We can see that the students are joining. So we'll just give a couple of minutes for all the students to join and then we'll start the session. Thank you all for joining us today. Okay, we'll start the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. So we'll just give a background about what the session is about. For NASCOM, skilling is one of our key priorities, and today we're doing the session along in partnership with our regional council as well as our skilling team, which is Future Skills. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Future Skills Prime and SSC team. So we as skilling is important and this is the right time for the placement season, we wanted to do a session for students regarding job readiness. We from the industry we are seeing a lot of trends that are changing, and that there is always a gap between students graduating and when they're joining the workforce. So to help them accustom to this, we wanted to do this session, and we will be exploring a few topics such as some key points to look for while building your resume, how an internship can help you, how to ace an interview, and so on. So we have with us Mr. Harish Bilvamani. He's from Strive, who's one of our key members, and he is an associate director of talent acquisition for Strive. He has close to 15 years of experience in talent hiring, and he's seasoned in recruitment, leadership hiring, talent acquisition for lateral hires and freshers as well. And he's also experienced in global recruitment. So based on his experience, I think he will be taking, good care of the session. And he has also done the session in the past. He has done similar content for, other students as well. So we just want to keep this open for questions anytime. You can drop your questions in the chat as well as the question answer. We will take the questions towards the end, but you can, as each topic progresses, you can feel free to drop your questions, which Harish will address in the end. Over to you, Harish.
Thank you so much, Kavya. I hope my audio and video is clear to you and to everyone.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, thanks. Okay, yeah, I'm quite excited to talk in front of such a I would say the freshest talent, because I always feel the fresh talent coming out of college, you have a lot of energy, thought process, positive innovations, and you have the right kind of attitude to take this country to the next level. So whenever there is a session on placements or guidance, I'm quite excited. Same enthusiasm even today as well, right? So for the next 45 to 45 minutes to 1 hour, we are going to discuss about job readiness. So to break it slightly detailed and to make it clear for everyone to understand, now right now you all are either at your final year. Yeah, of course, at final year is what I understood. At final year, so far your world would have been revolving around, schools, exams, lecturers, scoring good marks. That's how it would have been. For you, a small achievement would have been, okay, I have to score a good mark in this subject. Maybe while you're studying 10th, your parents would have told 10th marks are good. And when it comes to 12th, they would have said, okay, 12th, score a good mark. Then after going to college, you can chill out and have a good fun. But that's not the reality, right? Every time scenario changes, you'll come to college, again same pressure, and you have to score good marks, everything, right? So that's a different world. But right now, when you are at the final year, that world is coming to an end. Whatever you enjoyed for almost 10 12 years is coming to it, and you're going to enter a different world, which is called as corporate world, or industry world, I would say. So I'm from that world, spent almost 15 years. So I'm going to talk what is something corporate world expects from a heat pressures out there, right? So because you will see, okay, I've scored good marks, I took good percentages, then I'm all eligible for a job. Of course you are, but there are certain corrections here and there you have to make, which will help you 100 percentage, potential to get an opportunity, right? So this is something I'm going to talk based on my experience in talent acquisition. I have almost more than a decade of experience in talent acquisition, worked in different countries, sorry, different companies, And right now, I'm working with Strive, which is a data and AI technology company, as an assistant director for talent acquisition, hiring people across India and then for other countries as well. So my job for the last 10 plus years is to, on a daily basis, to interview candidates, to review resumes, so on and so forth. So what I'm going to discuss is basically my learnings and not my learnings, and also expectation from most of the companies from a freshers, right? So having said that, we will quickly get into the topic for today. Kavya, I'll share my screen. Just let me know if you can see the content there. Is it up for you?
Yes, yes, Harish.
One moment, I'll go on full screen. Yeah. Okay. I hope my screen is visible for everyone. So next 45 minutes, we are going to discuss this 4 to 5 topics, which is key for any one of the fresher who's pursuing the final year, right? Starting from how to draft a resume, that's the baseline, and then about internships, and then we are going to discuss about LinkedIn profiles as well, and then finally this is the key important thing which talks about how to crack an interview, and then finally I will also give some inputs about why additional courses are going to play a vital role in each one of your career, right? So quickly about resume writings, right? There are plenty of suggestions you will get. You will get a lot of suggestions from different people, maybe from your seniors. Everything is will be appropriate and at times will be helpful. But what I have highlighted here is are the top 10 resume writing skills based on my experience and my learnings by interviewing so many people over the years, right? So I'll start with the objective, right? So to give an example, whenever you're drafting a resume, everyone has an habit of giving an objective, right? So what I found as a slightly interesting thing is the person would have applied for a job opportunity in a customer support job, but the objective will represent stating, "Hey, I want to have a great career in technology," which means by looking at that, the interviewer will say, "Okay, this person is not aligned towards what he is expecting, he or she is expecting." So the takeaway here is whatever job you are applying, make sure your objective of the resume is aligned to that, right? So the key takeaway is make sure your resume is customizable. And jumping on to the next important tip, it's about highlighting your marks. So when I say highlight your marks, right? So Harish, I have very good marks. Say like I have 75 percentage and above throughout my 10th, 12th UG, then feel free to highlight your marks. But if you feel okay, I don't have a great marks, I am someone as average level, then you can also try to ignore that. So highlighting your marks is good when you have a very excellent track record in your academics. If you feel okay, Arish, I'm not someone that great in studies, I'm someone an average person. Yeah, in such scenarios, you can also ignore the marks, right? And moving to adding your skills and achievement. When I say skills, if you have done some additional courses, right, say like Java, Python, whatever you have done, C programming, or if you know Tally for that matter, or Power BI, please highlight that in your resume. And in terms of achievements, right? So achievements can be whatever related to your project, or if you have done any symposium or something, try to add that. And if you feel if not, right, few people would have also have some certifications from sports as well. Right? They would have had an excellent track record during their 10th, 12th. That's fine, right? You can also mention that. So whatever you feel as an additional information that's going to add more value, please add that in your resume. And then you can also have crisp details about your internship, what you've done, what's your learnings, right? Make it very crisp, right? 2 to 3 pointers, like this is what I've done in the internship and these are my learnings, right? And your personal details, this is something very important, because the moment when we discuss about personal details, we jump on, and then what we do is we start giving all the information: your name, address, father name, date of birth, your pin code, everything, right? But in current scenarios, that's not needed. You can say your name, and then your date of birth and your location. Probably you can mention Chennai, Kanjipuram, Trichy. You don't have to give complete details of address when you are updating your resume, right? And hobbies, right? Hobbies is most important. So whatever there are, you'll find a lot of critical questions from hobbies. I, as a candidate, whenever I have gone for interview, there are scenarios I have been asked a lot of questions around my hobbies. So even I do that as well when I do a lot of interviews. So update your hobbies as well. And ATS friendly resumes is more important in the given scenarios. I will give an example for this. Assuming there is a job opportunity for a software developer, I'll call it as Python developer, right? So for one opening, there will be say like 100 resumes, 500 resumes that will hit the system, right? So obviously, in the current scenario, the recruiters will not have time to sit and review all the resumes. So what they will do is there is an ATS engine which will have predefined keywords. If it is a Python developer, the keywords will have Java, J2EE, and software development like say programming knowledge, etc., etc. Right? So what the system will do is the system will filter from the 500 resumes. The system will filter the junk to relevant 50 resumes or 100 resumes based on the keywords whatever we give. So the learning for each one of you out here is make sure your resume is ATS friendly, which is if you are applying for a Python job or a data science. For example, if you are applying for a data science job, your resume should have keywords such as data science, R, Python, statistics, machine learning, LLM. So the keywords are more important so that your resume will be more relevant and the chances of your resume getting shortlisted is definitely high, right? And moving to the next thing, which is right now, most of the interviews are digital. So whenever you are sending a resume, make sure it's in a PDF format. That will slightly give a professional look because if it is in Word format, if the interviewer is going to open a different version, the alignment might also change, right? So looking at that, the person may think, okay, this person is not given a proper resume. Why I should shortlist? So make sure it's in a PDF format. And then basics like spell check, grammar. Right? So spell check nowadays, Word can give you, if you are going to type some errors, Microsoft Word has an option to highlight you the spelling errors. But in terms of grammar, if you are well versed in communication, you can mention that on your own. Or if you feel okay, I'm not someone great in communication, there are tools such as Grammarly, which will do the basics correction, right? So before you are posting your resume to any portal, make sure spell check, grammar checks are also done. And the important topic for today is again, this is something I want to slightly explain in detail, which is about having a resume in one page, right? Because gone are the days where every candidate will take 5 pages of resume or 3 pages, but nowadays everyone want a crisp resume, which is something in one page. Try to bring as much as information because I'll tell you the real scenario. Every hiring manager or every recruiter will spend maximum of 5 minutes in a resume, right? So given the time constraint, so it is make sure your resume is in one page, but that should look more professional with all the information whatever we are discussing, right? And the other important point is also your file name. I mean, the resume name. So you should not say whenever you're sending a resume to someone or you're uploading in a portal, just don't mention fresher or your name, etc. Give your name and then your stream. If you are from computer science, you know, Arun underscore computer science or hyphen computer science engineering fresher, or you are from mechanical engineering. See that these small things will give a lot of professional look when you are applying for a job opportunity. And then the most important thing is being honest with your resume. I want to connect the dots here. Your resume is a question paper for any interviewer or any HR recruiter, because if you are appearing for an interview as a recruiter, I will not know ABCs about it, right? I'm going to see your resume. I will pick some questions out of that, and then I'll try to make a meaningful conversation. So whatever we discussed, everything is of course vital, but your resume or what even a keyword or even a small word, right? So for example, if it is about hobbies, someone I would have I've interviewed a lot of folks, they would have written reading books, but when I ask them what books you read, they'll say, sir, I just started, or this is something not not mine, right? And there are scenarios I've also seen people try to replicate the template from their friends, everything is fine, and they will also try to replicate the hobbies, but make sure whatever is you are giving there, whatever you are updating there, that is more accurate, because the recruiter is going to, or the, when I say recruiter, the hiring manager as well, right? So the hiring manager is going to pick a lot of questions from that. So just whenever you are preparing your resume, just keep this in your mind. Your resume is the question paper for us. So make sure the information, whatever you are updating, that's 100% correct. All right. So I will jump on to the next topic, which is about.
Harish, just
Sorry.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Before you move on to the next, I just wanted to check if you can give like a sample framework of our resume could be based on the tips that you have provided.
Sure. So
Because they're all freshers and this is the first time probably they're building their resume.
I can also give some websites as well, Kavya. There is a website called Canva which helps in preparing resume. So one page resume that helps in doing that, and then there is one more website called Getty or something. So nothing, right? So two options to prepare a resume. Whatever that comes in your mind, you have to write it down, and then now I hope everyone are using ChatGPT, right? You are going to upload the information in ChatGPT, you will get a decent resume, because ChatGPT will throw you plenty of options, right? And by having that information, there are Canva is one, and there is one more website, resumo.ai or something. So if you are going to upload the information, that will give a proper professional resume, which will look like neat, crisp, right? So Kavya, that's an important nowadays. One page resume is what everyone are carrying. So maybe I can also send an email. Unfortunately, I don't have a template right now, but I can definitely send out an email on that, Kavya.
Sure, Harish.
Yeah, I will. Can I move on to the next one?
Yeah, yeah, Harish. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah. So here I'm going to discuss about the significance of the internship, right? So I will take an example of two students. So one student named Arjun, who joined engineering in 2021, getting passed out in 25. So assuming that person takes an internship in the last year, I hope engineering students will have the internship at the last year, isn't it? So uh, what happens is that person joins internship or project, not spending much time, not learning it properly, or try to get project from somewhere, some other sources, and then going for a final interview. So what happens is at the end of 4 years after the college, that person will not have any industry experience, because point number one, not a real-time project experience, not learned how a corporate works. And so basically, when the person is going for an interview, they will not have any clue what the expectations are. So, but I'll take the other person, the other candidate, same year, but what the person does is uh, pays 100% attention to the internship, right, or a project. Make sure spending more time on the project, on internship, learning more thing, putting that extra efforts, and making sure he or she gets 100% of knowledge from the project. So what happens is at the final placements, right? Once the project is done, when the person is appearing for the final placement, that person will have the confidence to say, I have done this, right? For example, if it is coding, the person can say, I've done this programming, or I've done this testing. These are the projects I've worked on, right? This will also help to basically there are other pros, right? So slightly related to this. So when the person is so much confidence, the person will be seen as a lateral in front of the hiring managers. Of course, the person will not have any real, certificate wise experience, but looking at the way the person is going to explain the things, there is a slight edge for that person to beat the competition by having a proper internship or project, right? So apart from this internship also helps any fresher to understand their pulse, because basically college life is different, right? You'll have your colleges, and after college you'll go home, spend time with your family. But I will see this internship or a project as a test drive, because you are learning the basics, you are learning the abcs there, right? And then how a corporate operates, that's a opportunity for you to learn and understand what is the culture of the corporate, how to behave, how to dress, so on and so forth. And then networking efforts, right? You will have a senior who will guide you, where there are chances the company can also hire you looking at your attitude, your performance, so on and so forth. So that plays a vital role as well. And then your confidence level will also shoot up, because the first job I would say is more important, because that will also put a confidence level slightly high, because that will give a confidence for you to do, okay, I am capable to do something, right? So the confidence level will also shoot up. And then a few companies also offer internship, for the sorry, few companies also often stipend for the internship, right? And then there are chances you will meet some mentors as well, who will travel throughout your career. So the learning is, everyone does internship or projects, but how meaningful, and then how learning, how attentive we are, that will have a great impact until you are getting placed in your first job, right? That's how I'll see this internship as a whole journey. So I will move on to the next one.
Sure, Harish.
Yeah, thanks. All right. So nowadays, I think LinkedIn doesn't need an introduction, but still, in case if somebody is not aware, I will say LinkedIn is a professional networking site. So we would have seen something like Facebook or Instagram, or Twitter. Likewise, LinkedIn is a professional networking site. So I want to start with this quote. Every student or every person who's applying for a job should have a LinkedIn profile, because I'll tell you why. Whenever I have a resume in front of me, the first thing I'll do is I'll go through the resume, I'll spend some time on the resume, I'll understand where the person is coming from, what is the experience, college, everything. But immediately my curiosity level will hit me to go and check the LinkedIn profile. I will go and check, okay, what this person is from, where the background is. Of course, same information from the resume will replicate, but apart from that, there is a curiosity, because what kind of content the person is sharing, right? I mean, there are chances the person will also share, contents about positivity, about different things nowadays people are sharing, right? That will give a fair bit of idea of how a person will be. This is more like a background check we do to understand a person, right? So LinkedIn profile is a must for all the students out there. So that gives an identity for you, I would say, because nowadays your digital identity is more important. Instagram, Facebook, everything is fine, but when it comes to professional network, it's good to have a LinkedIn profile. And then it will also enhance the networking opportunities. So in LinkedIn, what happens is, for example, if you are from a particular engineering college, the moment you have your profile, the LinkedIn will throw lot of friends from your particular college. A lot of seniors will also be there on LinkedIn. So there is an opportunity for you to connect with them and then have a conversation, and you can also discuss about career opportunities. And LinkedIn will also give you a boost or a platform where you can directly talk to the company's hiring managers or recruiters and understand what is their expectations. And then there are chances you can have a conversation with them and discuss about job opportunities as well, right? So that's why LinkedIn is a must. And now we will also spend some time on how to build the effective LinkedIn profile, right? So the first thing is you should have a professional picture. When I say professional picture, some formally dressed picture is good, but not an Insta pics. Definitely not on LinkedIn, right? And then your summary, right? So sorry, if somebody is using LinkedIn, they can relate. They will have a profile, and below that there's a headline which can talk about pursuing final year in so and so college, or an engineering graduate, from this college, or etc., etc. So make sure that's more relevant to your studies. And then um, and then summary section. In the summary section, give an introduction about yourself, from which college and what is the course you are pursuing, and what are the additional skill sets you have, right? So give a brief summary, like a story for the readers to understand your profile. And then, of course, you can also start having that connection, professional network connection, like I told you. You can connect with your seniors, your alumni, and then you can also connect with uh, company HRs directly and check if there are opportunities. So that's the tool. And nowadays, most of the people, most of the freshers whom I have interviewed in the last 1 2 years, out of 10, 8 of them are using LinkedIn. So if you have not started, it is the right time. So nothing is delayed. So it is the right time where you can go ahead and have your LinkedIn profile, which will you'll understand the importance of that once you start logging in and once you are using that. Right. So Kavya, I'll go on, or any thing you want to chime in?
No, Harish, please go on.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Coming to the important topic of today, which is how to crack an interview, right? I will see this as a cheat code for each one of you. Basically, this talks about what is something you can slightly prepare ahead for any interviews, I would say. First thing about first and foremost basics are, do a proper research about the company. So when you're going to do a proper research, understand when the company started, who is the founder, who is the CEO, CXO, where they have their job locations, and what kind of services they are into. Is it an IT company? Is it an ITS? Are they a product company? Are they a KPO? And try to get more information. So you can get these informations either in their website, or if you feel okay, that's slightly tough, you can also do a Wikipedia and then see what information are, or even you can ask Chat GPT, and the Chat GPT can make a quick summary and tell you what the company is all about, right? And then about the role as well, because I have seen a lot of people. Of course, there will be JD which will be out there in the market, but uh, people don't understand that 100 percentage, and whenever we start interviewing them, they will not have a clear picture of the role what they're applying. They'll say, I saw this opportunity and then I applied, or my friend told, that's why I applied, right? So don't get into such scenarios. Make sure you spend some time on the job description. There is a word called JD, right? That's how we call in the HR fraternity, job description, which will talk about the roles and responsibilities of each role. So go through the job description, understand what is the roles and responsibilities, what is the needs there. So before you apply for any interviews, right? and and there will be questions about your objectives. So when I say objectives, right, you can the person will ask you, so what is your goal? And so try to answer appropriately. I can also give some examples throughout the end when I come to the next one. And the other basics are, make sure you're formally dressed. That's expectations are always high, and time management is also more important. And then being patient, because somewhere we feel the given Gen Zs are, they want everything instant, but the patience is something which they should also pick. And then knowing the basics of MS Office and everything is also important, and asking the right questions, right? So whenever there is an interview, at the end of interview, uh, there are chances the recruiter will ask, or the hiring manager will ask, okay, do you have any questions to me? Then you should have some questions in top of your mind. You should have an answer for that, right? So this is how I mean, when you are doing this, right, when you are formally dressed, you have a very good time management. When you prepare yourself, obviously you have high chances of cracking an interview. Now, I will also give some examples about the template questions. So, in real scenario, any interview, whenever you are going, will last for maximum of 30 to 45 minutes, right? So, these 30 to 40 minutes will have your technical questions or your questions related to your subject for maximum 15 to 20 minutes. The rest of the time, these are the template questions which you can expect from any hiring manager, I would say. And I this question doesn't need an introduction. This talks about, tell me about yourself, right? Whenever not sure if you have done for any internship or any interviews, tell me about yourself. when this question is thrown at you, one mistake everyone does is they give an entire history about them. They will say, I'm this, I've studied this, I'm hailing from here, and my father is this, my mother is this, and I've done this is my mark, etc. etc. When you're taking 10 minutes, obviously the recruiter will not have a next question to ask. So make sure it's crisp, and you can say, I'm a so and so, I've completed my, this is the right way I would expect someone to answer. Someone can say, I'm so and so, I've completed my engineering from this college, and I'm here for an interview. You don't have to tell what your father is doing and where are you from, etc. Because when you're keeping it crisp, you are also giving options for the hiring manager to ask these questions at the second level and third level questions, right? Which means at the same time, first questions, everyone will be a little nervous, will go slightly out of the topic, because this making it crisp will help to stick to the topic, and you will also settle down for the discussion, right? And questions about the internship, that's why I discussed about the importance of internship in the first topic, right? Because there are scenarios, because as a fresher we cannot ask about your experience. Your internship or project comes into the play, there will be definitely questions about internship. Make sure you are prepared for that. And then about the company as well for which you are applying for interview. As I told you, do a proper research about the company. Spend some 15 to 20 minutes. I know you have done all the practice, studied 4 years engineering, everything is fine, but this for half an hour to 45 minutes of interview will determine your career, right? So spend some time on the company profile and understand who is the founder, when started, who is the CEO, some basics, what services, etc., etc. And then of course there'll be questions related to your hobbies as well. So make sure whatever you are giving in the resume, that is 100% accurate, and you should also have an answer. For example, if you are mentioning your hobby as cricketer, or if you are mentioning your hobby as someone playing football or reading books, music, you should have some answers to that. You should not say, okay, this is hobby, but still how frequently you are doing that is something, or try to add some story to that, right? And the next question is why you chose computer science, why you chose ECU, why you chose mech. These questions are template questions. Definitely out of 10 interviews, 6 interviews will have these questions, right? And give a proper answer to that. So basically you can say, hey, I've done my 12th in this and I felt I'm good interested in coding, I thought I'll give my hand here, I thought I can try my luck in computer science, or I'm fascinated about this, I wanted to get into mechanical, right? So that's how your question answer should be. And strengths and weakness. This question is there in the recruitment field for almost 20 years, I would say. Whenever, even from the time I started my career, this question is there. Talk about your strength. At the same time, you can also start talk about the areas where you feel you are improving. So, but don't say I don't have a weakness. Try to say these are the areas which you are working on. And there'll be questions about what is your ambition, where you want to see yourself in next 5 years. So give some realistic answers, slightly aligned to your role. For example, if you are applying for something related to tech, say you want to see yourself in a senior software developer, or tech lead, something like that, right? So make sure your ambition, and then ambition is slightly related to what you have studied or what role you applied for, right? And there are chances the questions can also be about your role model. Few may ask, but give an example, and then follow-up question will be why you see that person as a role model. Right? You should have some answers to that. You cannot randomly say, I see this person as a role model. So why you like them? Why you admire them? So give some answers around that. And planning plans for higher studies. A few questions. This is also one of the template question. And if you have any plans, of course, it's good to reveal during the interviews, right? These are the template questions. Probably, if you want, please make a note. Out of 10 interviews you're going to attend, at least 6 you will find this template questions, which will help because, as I told at the beginning, out of 45 minutes of the interview or 30 minutes of the interview, this template questions will cover 15 minutes of thing. So, which means you have another 15 minutes to impress the interviewer, right? So that is something. you can expect some unexpected questions about your subject or some technical stuff. That is something you have to prepare. So if you are 50% of things will be covered in this template questions, what I'm trying to say. Right? Okay. Kavya, I'll move on to the next one.
Sure, Harish.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Okay. So finally, this is about why someone should have an additional course. So now, India as a talent market, the competition is very high. I mean, every year we see lot of engineering professionals coming out of colleges, and they I mean, if they are not getting placed in campus, they have a slightly tougher time to get a job, right? So in such scenarios, when you have an additional course, when you have done an additional course, you'll have slightly an edge to from the competition, right? For example, some 10 people are coming for an interview, and if you have done some additional courses like Power BA or a programming course, obviously, without interviewing, your resume is shortlisted there, at least to have a conversation. I mean, mind wise, right? You are done, the initial screening is already done, you are getting shortlisted. Then it's an opportunity for you to explain yourself to the hiring manager and crack that interview. And the second reason I would say is, for example, you would have studied mechanical engineering, but if you want to try your luck in computer science, or if you want to try your luck in technology, what you can do is you can pursue some course, and then you can step into this different profile as well. Because as a hiring man, as a recruiter, I have seen a lot of people who are at a senior level at tech companies, but when I look at their engineering, they would have studied civil engineering, right? They would have studied mechanical engineering. I mean, it doesn't mean that what you study, it's all about what passion you have. So if you feel okay, I've done this, but I wanted to try something different, then pursue a course related to that particular subject where you are more interested in. That will help you to try different career options, I would say. And if somebody is going to spend some additional courses or learn some additional courses, that also indirectly refers the person is having more interest in the particular profile, right? And whenever you are doing some new courses, new learnings, you'll also get new friends, new network. Through that, you will get some new opportunities, job opportunities as well. And finally, when there is an additional certification course added to your profile, your earning potential will also have an increase. You can demand the salary because you have done this, and you can say, okay, this is the market salary and this is what I'm expecting. So, but one common question that pops up in our mind is, I've spent already for my engineering. Again, should I spend money for my additional course or so? But based on my research, there are plenty of sites. There are sites which offer free courses as well, which is Coursera or Great Learnings, right? And there are government-initiated sites which offers free courses. It's up to the individual to pick up and take wherever they are interested are. And even if nothing is working out, if you are passionate about some subject, go if you go to YouTube, there are plenty of content available which talks in detail about subject, right? So given a scenario where I felt I should know the basics of data science, I logged into YouTube, and there is a beautiful content which talks about from the basics, and then to the next level as well. So with the access to the information we have right now, because of the likes of Google, ChatGPT, and the internet, it's up to the individual to learn a lot of things and then enhance their career. So when it comes to courses, don't think, okay, this is something I have to pay and I'm stuck here, but there are other options to enhance your career too as well, right? So yeah, finally for questions, sorry if I'm little fast here, Kavya, but I hope I try to convey the message in time.
Not at all, Harish.
Yeah, I'm happy to
That's
take
okay.
any
We can
questions.
take questions from the students as well. So that
Sure,
will give us extra time for questions. So
sure.
there are a few questions which already came up. I'll just go ahead and ask them. Meanwhile, if the students wish to directly speak to Harish of your questions, you can please raise your hand. I'll call out one by one. I'm just going to the questions that were already asked. So, see, a couple of questions as about the basics of resume making. So, they are asking from a fresher's perspective, and because they're also going to build their first resume, they don't have an already an experience, right? So how do they put up skills? So what kind of skills can they put, and how do they put their education in the resume? And there was also a question that, will there be a change, like they have done their graduation in a different state, they've done their schooling in a different state, so does that make a difference, how to put that in a resume? So these are some basic questions on resume, I think, which we can take first before we go to the next set of
Sure.
questions.
I think too many questions. I'm trying to, process that and answer. But just to answer the education thing, it's good to again. This is subjective. If somebody is having an excellent track record in 10th or 12th with very good marks, feel free to add your 10th and then 12th mark percentages and then your college as well. It's not clear.
Harish, your voice is clear, but I think there are a couple of people who have just put this comment. Maybe you can speak a little louder.
Okay, one moment. Okay, so Kavya, my thought here on this, in terms of adding educational details, it's subjective. If someone is having excellent, marks throughout the curriculum, starting from their 10th, 12th, they can definitely add. Or if somebody is that, okay, I've not had a great, outing during my 10th or 12th, that's subjective, right? Probably they can add the names, but they can skip the percentages. What I would recommend. And in terms of skills, whatever you are very familiar, right? There are plenty of skills available for each stream. I cannot explain everything. For example, if it is, computer science, programming languages, or testing, whatever it is, try to highlight that. In terms of building a resume from the scratch, right? So that's going to be a challenging one. So in such scenarios, take ChatGPT's help, and you have to write a prompt stating, I have done my engineering from so and so college. You can give your details as well, because not sure how many of them are using ChatGPT. ChatGPT as an option to understand the question. For example, I'll take an example. Okay, I'm Harish. I'm pursuing my third final year engineering in so and so college in India, and this is what my course is all about. Can you prepare a template resume? So ChatGPT will give a template resume, copy that and paste it in a Word file, right? So which will have some objectives and etc. etc. Customize that, and then there are options. There is a website called Canva. Canva is something where you can make your resume more graphical. And there is another website called resume.io, resume.io, which where you have an option to make a free resume, because the portal will ask, okay, what is your engineering, what is the percentage? You have to type every information the portal is going to ask, and finally the resume will come in a template version. I think that is sufficient. That will look more professional, right? But you have to give all the inputs to the system, Kavya.
Okay, thanks, Harish, on that. So there's another question that has come up, which is on certifications and the last topic that you touched on.
Mhm.
What kind of certificates can we attach with the resume? What kind of courses is can you
Mm,
elaborate on,
yeah,
because
yeah,
there's
sure.
variety of courses available.
Correct, correct. So I will be slightly, related to computer science and EC, because that is where my hiring is more on. So other team, should not think that I don't have hands on there. But the reality is, so if somebody is pursuing, computer science as a course, or an EC or a triple E as a course, or even MEC as well for that reason, they can. High demand languages course are right now Python, and then .NET, and then data science, right? Data science, data analytics, right? So the moment we talk about courses, Kavya, what we generally do is, we have this mindset, okay, I have to get on to some institute and learn, but again, you're going to spend another 1 lakh to 2 lakhs for that. But there are websites, as I told, right? So where free options are available to learn the courses, right? And one website as such is, Great Learning offers that, Woodme offers that, and then there is a government portal also offers free courses where you can learn. Or if
Okay.
nothing is going to work, go to YouTube, learn the ABCs. That will there is plenty of content which is available. I myself have explored. It is up to the person to take up that, right? But the outcome is they will beat the competition when they are doing this.
Right. On this topic, actually, majority of the participants today are from colleges that are affiliated with our Future Skills Prime program. So they
Mhm.
also have free content that
Oh,
they
then
can
obviously,
access.
if something is
So,
available, then
so
it's
they
for
do
them
have
to pick.
access to
Yeah,
that.
then
Yeah.
it's great. Yeah.
Okay. I also have gotten a couple of people have asked the same question, which is how to make the resume stand out or how to make it unique.
See, it's resume standard unique. See, basically, what I would say is resume should be customizable, right? I know that's tough. Have a resume of Word format, and whenever you're applying for a different job, for example, you'll apply for something in development, or if you apply for something in testing, two different areas, right? You should be in a position to customize your resume because as I told you, ATS will also shortlist based on the keywords what you mentioned in the resume. So it's not about unique; it's about how customizable your resume is. And the other thing is, I will also give another cheat code here is when you're finding some job, the job description will have some keywords, right? So you have to understand, we have to go through the job description and find out what are the major things the job description is trying to tell, and try to bring that in your resume. You can say I've done that in an internship, but you should have proper answers to that. If not, it will be not easy to crack an
But
interview.
tying back to your slides, I think, like you said, it has to be also honest. No,
Correct,
you
correct.
can use
But
the
if you,
job description, but
yeah,
it has
but
to be honest.
if you're confident enough, or if you're confident enough to crack that, you can feel free to do that, right? So that's how I will say it's not about the color, coding, nothing. It's about how customizable and how relevant to the job description is what I would say.
Right. So there's another question which is related to IT programming. So is should that person be proficient in programming, or even the basics of the logic and implementing will be
if
sufficient at
someone
this
is
stage?
if someone is good in basics, Kavya, that person can pick up. I have seen a lot of people who have studied completely different course, right? They have studied BCom, and then I'll see them working as a data scientist. I'll see them working as a programming engineer. They will not have a base of computer science also, but if they have their interest, they can learn and pick. Right? That is what I would summarize.
Okay. So someone has a question on biomedical engineering, but I'm not sure if Harish will be able to answer. Biomedical engineering student, how many courses to complete? Kindly say which courses they can take up. But sorry, Aishwarya, I think we will not be able to answer that
Yeah,
in
that is
this
something
session.
slightly
Yeah,
difficult for me as.
yeah,
So, but biomedical also, there are a lot of biotechnology companies which is coming up, right? So there are
yeah.
companies, biotechnology companies, but probably they should do some research on that and figure out.
Yeah. So now, see, I would also like to add, like, there are a lot of industries now that is depending on data. So data has become very huge. So even if you are from a different stream, which is not directly related to IT, you would still be,
Yeah,
using data in some form. So you can try to identify courses which links, data with your core engineering.
correct.
Uh, Another question similar to the lines of what you earlier said, they are from commerce background, but they would like to learn AI and data science.
Please, please, nothing is going to stop you. As I told you, I recently interviewed a person for an analytics leader role. When it's analytics leader, the person will have hands-on 15 plus years in analytics or a data science, right? But when I saw the person's engineering, that person was from a civil background. Started as a civil engineer, worked in few, worked in few different roles, and then jumped into technology. Right now, 15 years, as an analytics or data engineering lead. So as I told you, everything boils down to the interest, right? Initial phase they will have challenges, but if they take appropriate actions, anyone can shine in any profile, right?
Yes, I think there was another similar question. Exactly, based on your example, they are from a civil engineering background and they would like to enter semiconductor industry. Uh,
Yeah,
so, so yeah, Dhanush, you can do it. You just have to figure out, what are the basics required for that industry. Learn a few topics on that. And if you're going to apply to specific companies, maybe read up on what they do, and what basics are required to for that job, right? Um, Okay, so there's one question which is asking about how to apply for internships. Maybe you can just give a idea about where they can apply or find, openings for internships.
sure. So when it comes to internship, there are 2 to 3 options, I would say. Then I'll slightly ask that person to create a LinkedIn profile. First option is to connect with the alumni of the particular college. They will have the seniors working in different colleges, right? Sorry, different companies. They can check and if they have any internship opportunities. That is one. And the other option is they can simply log on to a portal like Naukri and then see if there are any internship opportunities and if they have any job opportunities similar to their particular domain. They can reach out to them and say that I'm looking out for an internship, because internship in end of the day you're going to work uh, as two options. There are companies where they don't offer stipend, but I will see as a student, this is more from a learning standpoint. Don't think about the stipend. You get an opportunity, do the job, get more things about that. Or in LinkedIn, uh, go to particular HR and approach them if there are any internship opportunities. And nowadays, even HR post, even if you look at our LinkedIn page, Kavya, we post HR internships, right? So whenever there is an opportunity. So these are the options which help them to land in any proper internship role.
Okay. So there's a question on the importance of communication that is required for, cracking an interview.
Absolutely important. I will tell you how this will work, right? Because uh, so maybe I can give an example. One So a person will have excellent subject knowledge. The subject may be mechanical or ECE or triple E, whatever it is. But if the person is not having a great communication skill, that person will slightly fumble in the interview, right? So which means the person will not be able to impress the interviewer. But option B, average subject knowledge, but if the communication is good, the person can crack the interview. So, which means having a good communication is non-negotiable, especially if the someone is going to get into a technology field, right? And I will term it very cautiously. Good communication. You don't have to be an excellent communication, but you should have a decent communication to answer to the questions whatever being asked. Because even in technology, beyond coding, right? Beyond coding, there are chances. You will also talk to clients. So in such scenarios, you should have a decent communication skill to make you a proper or 100% fit candidate for the particular. So it's non-negotiable. It's always good to have a good communication skill, which will boost the confidence of any candidate.
Okay. Yeah, so there is another question related to this. Along with, communication, there's also, like a stage fear or, fear for interviews.
That
It's my
that
first interview.
uh,
How can we overcome that? Can you give a few tips?
Yeah, sure. So before I give the tips, basically everyone will have that nervousness, right? I have seen people after having 20 years of experience also, when they go for an interview, they get that butterflies in stomach, they have that nervousness. That's a human psychology. But very few are gifted with that. Very few will never have that, fearness. They go and deliver a talk without having that fearness. But overcoming this is not an easy thing, but it's definitely doable. Basically, what you have to do is you have to do practice, right? So when I say practice, earlier what people will say is, stand in front of a mirror and talk. But nowadays, what we generally hear from people is everyone has a smartphone, right? Pick up a favorite topic of yours. That topic can be related to music, movie, or football, or whatever it is, cricket, whatever it is. Switch on your camera, talk in front of that camera for a few minutes, say like 5 minutes. You should talk about a topic. First day, day one, day two, day three. If you're going to continuously do that for 10 days, 15 days, you yourself, when you're going to see your day one recording and then when you're going to see your day 20th recording, you can find there is a difference in your confidence, the way you pronounce, the way you look at your audience would have changed when you're doing this in private. When you're doing this for 20 days or 30 days for once you do this continuously, your confidence level will improve, and slowly you'll overcome this fearness, right? But everything happens through a continuous practice, will not happen over the
Okay, Harish, I also want to ask one question. Like, since you are regularly hiring, do you see some, common mistakes that freshers do that could be avoided?
as I told you, I tried to cover in one of the topic. It's about they will say why you came for an interview, because without not having a proper understanding about the role, they will directly walk in or they will apply, because they will say no, I saw the JD and I applied, and my friend came for an walk-in and then I directly walked in, right? So my suggestion would be having a proper understanding about the role before applying for a job is little important, because end of the day, you are saving both the time, right? You are saving your time, you are saving the time of the interview as well. That is one. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have covered most of the questions. If there are any questions, please feel free to raise your hands. We'll take your questions. There's one participant here who has their question, hand raised. Just Kabilan, would you like to ask a question?
I don't.
Okay. So there's a question whether engineers should have a knowledge about Power BI.
See, Power BI, it's good to have, because
Mm.
Power BI is basically a data visualization tool. A lot of companies have started using that. So if you have a Power BI certification, definitely that will give a slight competitive edge. And again, that is not a programming role. It's basically data visualization, more like creating graphs, charts from the data what you have. It's Power BI and Tableau does similar role, right?
Yeah. Okay, I don't see any more questions. Any closing comments, Harish?
No, I closely comment as I started in the beginning. Nowadays, I've done a lot of campus recently, but one thing I'm always impressed is the Gen Zs know what they want, right? They are more because when I studied my college, I would have not known so much awareness. Nowadays, they know what to do, they know what's wrong, they know what's right. So their confidence levels is high. So slight fine tuning is done. Definitely, they're going to make wonderful miracles, is what I would say. And to all the participants, I'm quite out active on LinkedIn. My full name is Harish Shilvamani. If you want to reach out for any career guidance, feel free to reach out. I'll definitely try to share my learnings and experience. Right.
I'll just drop your LinkedIn profile here so that they can
Yeah, yeah, feel free.
reach out. There's another question on, if they want to start learning programming languages, where should they start? So this is coming from someone who's from a different background other than IT, electrical
Start with
engineering.
basics of C, C++. That is where most of the programming languages, you will learn the ABCs, then probably you can jump onto the other interest area. But basics of programming is learned in C, C++. Yeah. At least you know the concepts better. It will be easy to understand.
Agreed. Okay, thank you so much,
Okay,
Harish.
I
I
think
think
I'm good. Yeah.
we have covered all the questions that were asked. Um, oh, Kabilan has asked another question. So we'll take this as the last question. What? Tell me about the attitude that's required for, a corporate professional. So I think
Oh,
you've also covered that in one of your
yeah, I tried
slides.
to cover that. It's
We'll take this as the last question.
yeah, yeah. So attitude is you can be 100% transparent, right? You don't have to be a different person for a corporate. So whatever attitude you have, give your be that positive person who can bring a lot of valuable things onto the table, because corporate world will also welcome each one of you with a warm welcome, I would say, because a lot of people who are working in corporate were also like freshers. They will understand what challenges freshers will have. They will handhold each one of them until they settle down. So if you have that willingness to learn, that attitude is more important whatever level you reach in the corporate world. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Harish, for
Thank you.
sharing all your valuable insights. I hope the students were able to, grasp some of the points. Feel free to reach out to Harish on LinkedIn. We have shared his profile. He'll be happy to reply back to your messages. And we can also share this presentation with you. It's a simple presentation, but I can share it with you. You can have a
Yeah.
look at it and you can get back to us if you have any questions. We'll email it to you on the registered emails that you had registered for this session with. And we hope you have a successful, placement season. All the best
Yeah.
to all of you. And feel free to reach out to us again anytime in case you have any other, questions on this session. Thank you. Thank you all, Harish.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for your time.
Thanks, Kavya. Thank you everyone for making it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.